Shalom to everyone. Today's information is going to be probably a little controversial. When I made the video in reference to January or, New Year's deception, I went into the calendar. All right, I'm going to get into the calendar again and read some excerpts or some verses through the book of Enoch. All right, but before I go there, we know that the scripture says that the enemy in Daniel chapter 7 verse 24 and 25. Give me a minute. Let's go to Daniel chapter 7 verse 24. Daniel chapter 7 verse 24. And it says, and the 10 horns out of the kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall arise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings. And he shall speak great words and against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into the hands until a time and a dividing of times. But the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion to consume and to destroy it until the end. I wanted to go here because the enemy will eventually try their best to change the times and the laws. Now, the way we understand that they change the times, leap year, spring forward, fall back. Okay, you lose an hour here, you lose an hour there. You leap a year every 4 years. Some February's got 28 days, some February's got 29 days. Well, usually just about all February's got 29 days. But when you go into the book of Enoch, your change of seasons is an extra day. So that's where you get your 31 days. You got 30, 30, then the next month is 31, then you're going into the next season. So it's 30, 30, 31, 30, 30, 31. That's the cycle of the sun itself. Okay? We are supposed to follow the sun and not the moon. So as I said in the other video, there's no way you can correlate the Gregorian moon calendar or any moon calendar to that degree to go with the Enoch calendar, because the Enoch calendar is following the sun, and he never changed his course. It's always the same course. Okay, so knowing that this calendar, and I'm sure I went through this information before, and I'm glad some people have been hitting me up on comments, but I'm still going through some of their information. You have March 2014, Saturday the 15th, 16th is Sunday. Then you got Monday the 17th. There's a very big issue with that. On the 17th, in the solar calendar, the Enoch calendar, or if you check the solar calendar in Jerusalem, I don't care where you at, you're gonna have equal day, equal night between Friday sundown and Saturday sundown, which is the 14th and the 15th. Well, on this calendar, but it shouldn't be the 14th and the 15th. Remember, she takes a day off here and takes a day off there. You got 29 days here, you got 30 days there, and 31. Because a lot of times you would see this moon calendar. That's what the Gregorian calendar is. I want to make that very clear. A Gregorian American calendar is a moon calendar. All the heathens deal with the moon, lunar. So you're going to be off on your days if you try to follow her dealing with your holy days. That's clear. And what I'm going to do, and hopefully there's going to be some breakthrough information. I contacted the very wise brothers in reference to this information, and they were very responsive. They responded to my emails, and excuse me, I'm looking for something here. The issue with that, they were very responsive, and I believe that they seen a conflict also with not their teaching, but how to correlate the Sabbath days of Enoch to the Gregorian moon American calendar. It's impossible to do it. But since, you know, I have a little bit of time and I don't really do much, I put together, which you all seen in the other video, a calendar, Enoch calendar. So you will know exactly what day, and I put this part up before too, which day would fall on our holy days. Okay, you have the Sabbath there. Now this goes from March 17th to your Sabbath will land on their Saturday all the way to April 13th, which just passed. I'm just showing you an example. Well, let's go into where we at today. All right, we in so-called January. '17th, I believe. What's this? January the 20th, I believe. 19th. That's where we at. Give me a minute. All right, looking for my silly phone here. Okay, January 19th, Sunday. Now see, if you follow their Gregorian calendar, January 14th for Tuesday, but that's our first day of the week in the 11th month, because that's where we at. We're close to the end of the year. We're close to the end of the year if you're following the Enoch calendar. January 19th, January 20th, that's our 7th day. January 20th is our 7th day, but it's their moon day or Monday. Remember, they worship the moon. And that's the reason why they try to say that a week had 5 days. That's why they start their weeks, their work weeks. It's all witchcraft. That's what you got to realize. It's all witchcraft. You start your week on a moon day. They deal with worship of the moon or goddess Artemis. Okay? So they reverence Artemis, the moon god, and different various other cultures. They deal with the moon deities. All right. I just want to put that out first because this looks crazy. It may look Russian to some people. Okay. Let's go to the book of Enoch. I have to show this, because this is going to really blow your mind. And I did the math. And let me pull up this calendar, this calculator. So I want to make sure I'm going to use the phone. This is not going to be my own calculations. Okay. Let's go to the book of Enoch. I guess what I'll do is I'll read it all the way through. It's pretty long, and the font is very small. All right, let's go to the book of Enoch, Astronomy, book 3 is Astronomy, chapter 72. It's going to start at chapter 72 anyway. I'm going to start at the first verse. And it says, the book of the course of the luminaries of the heaven, the relations of each according to their classes, their dominion and their seasons, according to their names and places of origin, and according to their month, which Uriel, the holy angel who was with me, who is their guide, showed me, and he showed me all their laws exactly as they are, and how it is with regard to all the years of the world, and unto eternity, till the new creation is accomplished, which dureth till eternity. And this is the first law of the luminaries. The luminaries, the sun, has its rising in the eastern portal of the heavens, and its setting in the western portals of the heaven. So we know that the sun rises from the east and sets in the west. And I saw 6 portals in which the sun rises, and 6 portals in which the sun sets, and the moon rises and sets in these portals, and the leaders of the stars and those whom they lead, 6 in the east and 6 in the west, and follow each other in accurately corresponding order. Also many windows to the right and left of these portals. And first there goes forth the great luminary named the sun, and his circumference is like the circumference of the heavens. And I want you to make sure y'all know that the sun is considered a masculine spirit, and he is quite filled with illuminating and heating fire. The chariot on which he ascends, the wind drives, and the sun goes down from the heaven and returns through the north in order to reach the east, and is so guided that he comes to the appropriate portal and shines in the face of the heavens. In this way he rises in the first month in the great portal, which is the 4th, those 6 portals in the cast. And in that 4th portal from which the sun rises in the first month are 12 windows. So it's 12 months in a year. Openings from which proceeded a flame when they are open in their seasons. When the sun rises in the heaven and he comes forth through that 4th portal 30 mornings. So it's going to be 30 mornings in succession and set accurately in the 4th portal in west of the heaven. And during this period, the day becomes daily longer, and the night nightly shorter to the 30th morning. On that day, the day is longer than the night by a 9th part, and the day amount exactly to 10 parts, and the night to 8 parts. And the sun rises from the 4th portal and sets in the 4th, and returns to the 5th portal of the east 30 mornings, and rises from it and sets in the 5th portal. And then the day becomes longer by 2 parts and amounts to 11 parts, and the night becomes shorter and amounts to 7 parts, and it returns to the east and enters into the 6th portal, and rises and sets in the 6th portal 1 and 30 mornings on account of its sign. On that day the day becomes longer than the night, and the day becomes double the night, and the day becomes 12 parts, and the night is shortened and becomes 6 parts, and the sun mounts up to make the day shorter and the night longer, and the sun returns to the east and into 6th portal and rises from it and set 30 mornings. All right. And when 30 mornings are accomplished, the day decreases by exactly 1 part and becomes 11 parts, and the night 7, and the sun goes forth from the 6th portal in the west and goes to the east and rises in the 5th portal for 30 mornings and set in the west again in the 5th western portal. On that day the day decreased by 2 parts and mounts to 10 parts, and the night for 8 parts. And the sun goes forth from the 5th portal and sets in the 5th portal of the west and rises in the 4th portal for 1 and 30 mornings. So when it says 1 and 30 mornings, you're going into another season. So it's 30, 30, then 31. So I just wanted to read so you understand that every time the sun goes into a portal, and when it goes into a portal twice, that's 30 days, and then that next time it does that, that's a 31st day, which you go into another season. So we just read spring and summer. All right, so that's understanding. I understand that part. 30, 30, then you got 31 going to the next season. 30, 30, then you got 31 days, then you go into the next season. So that's why you have 360 days as a circle. But to understand your points of seasons, you have those extra 4 days. That's why you have 52 weeks in a year, which is 364 days in a total year. There's no such thing as 365 days. That's a bunch of mess. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to go into how the Most High allowed me to figure out why the moon calendar does not correlate with March 17th. Because if I hope my computer is not jumping and slowing down. I hate when it does that. Now this is my area. I'm going to put this information up again. Maryland vicinity. All right. But as you see, March 16th, this is a sun calendar. I want to make that very clear. This is a sun calendar. We're going to find out why we need to follow the sun, the Enoch sun calendar, opposed to the moon lunar calendar. Okay? You see that, right? March 16th. That's a Sabbath. You're going to have equal day, equal night. Okay, Saturday, sundown. You go into Sunday, March 17th, 7:38. Excuse me, 7:18. And then you see 7:17. So you got more day on March 17th, because you got a minute less that 16th. Very clear. That's very clear. But it's following the sun. This never changes throughout the years. I've put in 2024, 2016, 2020, 2020 or whatever. It doesn't change. It's always in Jerusalem, 548. You can go to timeanddate.com. Go to the sun and moon calculator. Click on that. You put in Jerusalem coordinates. It'll say Jerusalem. I think it'll say Israel, Jerusalem. You put in March 16th of any year, you're going to get 548. 548, equal day, equal night. This is the sun, though. Okay, I'm going to say that over and over. This is a sun calendar based on Enoch's calendar. We're supposed to follow he, which is the sun. March 17th, 547. You got one more minute more of daylight. It's not clear as I want it because I got the silly green highlight up there, but it's 5:49, one more minute more of daylight. Okay, pretty simple to understand, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why that the Gregorian American Babylonian moon calendar, I don't care what you want to call it, does not correlate. And like I said, I've done this before, but I want to make it very clear on the reason why. It's going to be groundbreaking, and I'm not trying to be some high-powered person that know everything and want to get a bunch of views. I can care less about that. But when I go through this should make sense. All right, now let's go to the book of Enoch, chapter 73 of astronomy. All right. Matter of fact, I need to go to chapter 74. The book of Enoch, chapter 74. And it says, and I saw another course, a law for her. It's talking about the moon, and how according to the law she performs her monthly revolution. And all these Uriel, the holy angel, who is the leader of them, all showed to me in their positions. And I wrote down their positions as he showed them to me, and I wrote down their months as they were at the appearance of their lights, till 15 days were accomplished. In single seventh parts she accomplishes all her lights in the east. and in single seventh parts accomplish all her darkness in the west, and in certain months. You see how it says, and in certain months? You're going to find out why. She alters her settings, and in certain months she pursues her own peculiar course. She has her own course. That's what the moon is telling you. These Gregorian calendars got their own course, but it's a cycle, and I'll show you. In 2 months, the moon sets with the sun in those 2 middle portals. The 3rd and the 4th, she goes forth 7 days and turns about and returns again through the portal where the sun rises and accomplishes all her light, and she recedes from the sun, and in 8 days enters the 6th portal from which the sun goeth forth. And when the sun goes forth from the 4th portal, she goes forth 7 days until she goes forth from the 5th and turns back again in 7 days into the 4th portal and accomplishes all her light, and she recedes and enters into the 1st portal in 8 days, and she returns again in 7 days into the 4th portal from which the sun goes forth. Thus I saw their positions, how the moon rose and the sun set in those days, and if 5 years are added together, the sun has an overplus of 30 days. You see that? And all the days which accrue to it for one of those 5 years, when they are full, amount to 364 days. That's a full year. And the overplus of the sun, and when it says overplus total of the sun and of the stars, amounts to 6 days in 5 years. 6 days every year come to 30 days, and the moon falls behind the sun. And the moon falls behind the sun and the stars to number of 30 days. And the sun and the stars bring in all the years exactly, so that they do not advance or delay their position by a single day until eternity. So this is forever, but complete the years with perfect justice in 364 days. In 3 years there are 192 days, and in 5 years in 3 years there are 1092 days, and in 5 years 1820 days, so that in 8 years there are 2912 days. For the moon alone, the days amount in 3 years to 1602 days, and in 5 years she falls 50 days behind. I want y'all to really pay attention and bookmark that in your mind, because I'm about to show you something that's very interesting in the moon calendar. All right, days in 5 years she falls 50 days behind to the sum of 1770 days. There is 5 to be added. Remember that there's 5. It's talking about 5 years to be added, 1062 days. And in 5 years there are 1077 days, 1770 days, so that for the moon the days in 8 years amount to 21,832 days. For in 8 years she falls behind to the amount of 80 days. All the 17 days she falls behind in 8 years are 80, and the year is accurately complete in conformity with their world stations and the stations of the sun, which is rise from the portals through which the sun rises and set 30 days. So you're only going to get an extra day with the sun when the changes of season. That's your peak time, just like a clock. 12 o'clock, boom, you're going to another part of the daytime. 3 o'clock, you're going into a part of another day. 6 o'clock, you're going into part of another day. 9 o'clock, you're going into part of another day, or another time. That's just the way it goes. You got the evening, and you got the afternoon, the evening, and the night, and the wee hours of the morning, and it's almost similar to the clock itself, but you have your points. So you got 364 days. That's the Enoch calendar. All right, now I want to pull out something. I want to go back to this moon here. She's off when it comes down to the cycle of the calendar. All right. I want to go back to verse 14 of chapter 74, verse 14. It says, "For the moon alone, the days amount in 3 years to 1,062 days, and in 5 years she falls 50 days behind, to the sum of 1,770. There is 5 to be added." Let's stop right there. 1,062 days. There's 5 to be added. Okay. Now remember when I said that March. I'm gonna have to click off this because I want it to be clear. Remember when I said that March 2013 was on point? It's the reason why. March. And I'm going to go back to this calendar that I built, right? March 13th. Excuse me, not March 13th, but March 2013 calendar. 17th was perfect. 17th, this is all lining up with the Enoch calendar. All the Sabbaths are correct according to the solar calendar, which is the sun. He is on point. Why did Enoch say add 5 years? That's what I want to show you all. Now, how do I want to do this? If you go 2013, matter of fact, the 2014 calendar, y'all going to love this information I'm about to get into. The 2014 calendar, it has the 17th on a Monday, which is off, right? If you want to follow the solar calendar, if it's equal day, equal night on a Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, that's off according to Enoch, because this is a moon calendar. I hope y'all make that needs to be very, very clear. This is a moon calendar because the heathens follow the moon, right? So if you go 2014, matter of fact, if you go 2013, I'm about to do it on here, make it easy. Plus 5, as Enoch said, add 5 years. Plus 5, you're going to get, and it's probably not clear. Yeah, there you go, kind of. You're going to get 2013, you add 5 years, that's 2018. So I'm going to show you something very, very weird here. From 2013, okay, you got 5 years in between. So it's going to be 2014 and 2018. Those years are going to be off. Watch this. I'm going to pull it up, and I hope you all do the math yourself. All right, I'm going to go to timeanddate.com. Timeanddate.com. And if you put in 2019, because that's going to be after your 5-year period, you go to the next year. Go to 2019 calendar. You would not believe. Okay. Okay, it's not. We don't want to work. Yeah, I bet you don't want to work. Yeah, we're going to have all kind of issues. But if you go to the 2019 calendar, if you go to the 2019 calendar, you're going to see that it has March 17th as the first day of the week, because that's the new year. That's not a coincidence, because it does it again 5 years more. So the way you do it, you go to 2019 calendar. Give me a minute here. (2019) plus 5 is 2024. But I think their calculations could be off. You go to 2000. Nope. You go to 2024 calendar. So you go to, if you add 2019 plus 5, 2024 calendar is going to have March 17th. First day of the year. Flawless. Just do it. Do the math yourself. Let me see if I can show this, man. This needs to be shown. Hold up. Oh, hold up. Let me move this stuff out of the way. I don't know if I can do it. Try. March 17th, 2024. 17th, right? It's blurry, yeah, I know, but you get the picture. 17th, just like 2013, just like 2019. We put in 2019. That's 5 years apart. This cannot be refuted. See that? I know my computer's acting slow, but you see that. That's in 2019, March 17th. So it correlates with 2013 calendar. Cannot be refuted. You go to 2013, I mean, every 5 years, it jumps. Okay? So if you do it that way, you'll understand that the moon is totally off. 5 years. That's why Enoch said add 5 years. So of course, every 5 years, the moon is going to be right, because she's off 10 days per year. 50 days, 55 years, she's off 50 days. And you keep going on and on. 8 years, she's off 80 days. We just read it. So understanding that should be groundbreaking. But what do we do? The Most High know that we're still learning. We're still trying to get things together. This is not to cause an argument on a serious level. This is not to cause an argument. If you don't agree with it, it's okay. If you still follow the Sabbath on a regular Gregorian Sabbath, the Most High understand. He still will bless us. We still learning. All He really wants us to do is just, it's not about the days so much, but He wants us to just really have a pure spirit to just really worship. Christ came to show that the Pharisees and the scribes, okay, you following the law, but look at you. What are you doing? It's a way that you're supposed to follow the law. It's not always getting everything correct. If you can, that's good. We're under grace. All right. So I don't want people to think that just because we're following a Gregorian Sabbath and we do it that way, we won't go to hell or there's a sin. No, it's more to the point where it's in your heart to do it the correct way. It has to be in your heart to do it the correct way. That's why Christ died for our sins. So, and He was teaching them, it's not just following the law. It's about having the law in your heart to do it correctly. See, we are the children of those foreparents that broke the laws. So a part of us is defiant or disobedient because of our foreparents. But we're getting things together. But you can't refute what I went into. Okay, that's not. You can't even. I mean, if you go to I'm going from 2013 to 2024 calendar. I think it gets a little rocky because of the leap year thing. All right, but once you leap the year, 4 years, because they do the 28th, that throws off everything. So now it'll go back to the cycle, and I don't know why they added that, because that don't have anything to do with the moon cycle. And I think they've done that to mock Christ. I know we're 8 years off, but there was about 4 years when Herod was seeking after Christ. It was 1 year they took out of the Bible, how they tried to say that, they were looking for Christ for the kids. 2 years and back, they were killing off the kids. Then there's another 2 years that goes into how they took off some more time of the Gregorian calendar. And like I said, I'm not going to deal with that, but I think it has something to do with that information, and I'm still searching for that. But hopefully you all see totally what's going on here. All right, so make your comments, send me an email at 12tribes@holyvesselchurch.com, or do it that way. All right, see you all soon. Shalom.